Hello year ones and welcome back to our remote learning today. Today's English is really exciting and we are going to be looking at it in a different type of presentation because hopefully today you will be able to see me the whole way through and you'll be able to see my screen. So please let me know if it works because last week it wasn't working and you could see my screen the opposite way around, whereas this week I'm trying something new. So please let me know, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you can see me all the way through. I'm on the wrong one. Okay, so yesterday our learning objective was all about fiction pieces of writing. And today we're going to be moving on to non-fiction pieces of writing. But before we do that, I want you to tell your talk partner what we did yesterday. What is fiction? And how can you spot if something is a fiction piece of text? Off you go. Pause the video now. Welcome back. I want you to see if you can name some different pieces of fiction text to your talk partner in a minute, and I want you to name some famous characters from a fiction piece of writing that you love. Pause it now and do that with your talk partner or your grown-up. Okay, so some features of non-fiction writing, that is what we are focusing on today. It is the opposite of fiction writing. And remember, yesterday or the day before, I said about how fiction is exactly the same in this word, except it has this prefix at the beginning of fiction, which means it is not fiction instead of it just being fiction. So non-fiction, what is it then? Non-fiction books are based in fact, very important, they are real facts. They give the reader information and help us to learn more about different things. Non-fiction books will usually contain some of these features, so read along with me. Real facts, they always give information. Sometimes they have a contents page, and hopefully you will have had a look at some of those yesterday or the day before. They normally have some photographs on. Sometimes they have headings and subheadings, or sometimes we call that a title. And sometimes they will have diagrams with labels. So let's have a look at some different types of non-fiction texts. You may have found some of these around your house. We have travel brochures, dictionaries, history books, encyclopedias like animal nature books, or you might have an encyclopedia about something different. General knowledge and trivia books, art books, books with recipes in, leaflets for food or for adventurous places to go out and visit, signs and posters maybe in your house or maybe outside on the street, and product labels, not just food products, but maybe products in your bathroom or products around the house. So, with that in mind, I want you to have a look at today's task. Now, I have sent you these 3 pieces of non-fiction text. Now, just before we pause and I show you the task, I just want you to have a quick look at them, a really quick look. We're not identifying features yet, so just have a glance so that you can see these up close and personal and you can really get the gist of what they are exactly. There is a cupcake recipe over here. Over on this side, there is a Neil Armstrong Space Explorer non-chronological report in the middle, and there is an information leaflet about sharks over on this side. You don't need to read them just yet, I just want you to have a little look about them and spot things that you might notice between them. So pause now and have a go at that. Okay, what you are going to do then is you will find this chart on the top of the 3 pieces of writing. You are going to have this chart in front of you and you're going to spot all the textual features within each piece of writing. Now I'm going to explain to you what a textual feature is. A textual feature is just all of the things that are in the writing. Okay, so let's have a look at this piece here. This is Neil Armstrong non-chronological text. So You need to find the right column. Is it this one, or this one for your piece of work? Now, I know that this one is all for Neil Armstrong, so I'm going to highlight him. I know that I am doing it about Neil Armstrong. You don't need to highlight your piece of work. I'm just doing it so that you know what we are doing here. So this is the Neil Armstrong piece of work, which is the middle column here. What I am going to do, first of all, is to have a read of my Neil Armstrong piece of writing. So I'm going to read out just a little bit of this, but you're going to read it all at home. I'm not expecting you to read it yourself. I would really appreciate a grown-up helping you read this. The reading part today is not the important bit. It's about spotting the features and identifying them within the writing. So, Neil Armstrong, space explorer. Now, we might have heard about him. We did a bit of a space topic, didn't we? So you might have heard of him there. Neil Armstrong was born in America in August 1930. He was an astronaut who worked for NASA and made history when he became the first man to walk on the moon. He was extremely motivated and worked hard to achieve his goal. He died on the 25th of August 2012. Okay, now do you think that this sounds like a story? Doesn't, does it? It sounds like it's about a real life man who actually lived on the earth, just like us. He's a real man, and it sounds like he's got lots of different facts written about him all the way down this non-chronological report. Now, we're going to look into non-chronological reports tomorrow, so don't worry too much if you're not sure what that is at the moment. So that's the only bit that I'm going to read. I'm going to have a look down my list then and see if I can spot these really interesting things here and see if I can then tick them off on my list here. So does it have adjectives? Let me have a look. Does he have adjectives in that? Oh, look, I can see extremely. That describes how motivated he was. He was extremely motivated. That's a good one. So I can say it does have some describing words in. Yes, it does. Now, some of these are going to be really hard to find. So if you can't find them, do not worry. Statement sentences. So sentences that tell me something. Let me go back to the first sentence. Neil Armstrong was born in America in August 1930. That tells me something, so I know that there are statement sentences. Illustrations. Drawn pictures. Is the picture drawn or is it a photograph? No. It's not a photo. It's a photograph. It's not drawn, so I'm going to leave this square blank, or this rectangle blank. Does it have photographs? Yes, it does. Does it have a title at the top of the page? Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Does it have subheadings? That means a mini title. Now, we haven't come across these before, so I'm going to show you what these are. It does have a mini title. This is my mini title, and it means that it takes this part of the writing, all of this part, into its own interesting section. So rather than it being a very large piece of writing, the whole page, it breaks it up for the reader with this little subheading, and I can look at the subheading to know what is going to be in this section. So this subheading says, why did Neil Armstrong want to become a pilot? So we can find out why he wanted to become a pilot just by reading that subheading. So does it have a subheading? Yes, it does. If it helps you when you're looking at your textual features to find the textual feature and then to do the tick in the same colour, if you want to use colouring pencils, that is absolutely fine, and that means it's really easy to see where those things are on your work. Facts. Does it have truthful statements? Yes, it does. It's got lots of those. Does it have once upon a time? No, it doesn't have that, so I'll leave that blank. Does it have questions? I can see it's got this subheading as a question. Why did Neil Armstrong want to become a pilot? We know that that is a question because you have to answer a question. And once again, we will be looking at questions later on in this week. So if we're a bit unsure about those, that's fine, grown-ups. If you help them out this time, and then I will explain to them later in the week exactly what that is. Yes, it does have a question. Now, a really good tip for finding questions, if you're not sure what they actually contain, is having a look at the question mark at the end of the sentence here. Does it have a question mark? And I will draw a question mark here so you can see exactly what that is. Can you see this within the piece of work? It looks quite similar to our exclamation marks, line, dot, electric shark, but this one has a curl in it. If you can spot one with a curl in it, then it definitely has a question. Does it have bullet points or numbers? Now this one doesn't, but if the other ones do, your grown-ups will help you to spot those. So I finished my Neil Armstrong identification of textual features. Now I'm going to move on to my cake recipe or my shark information text. Your task then with a grown-up is identify the textual features from all three pieces of non-fiction text. You will need to read through them very slowly, and it might take a while for this piece of work. If this is really, really tricky, the aim is for 2 pieces of work, including the Neil Armstrong piece, okay? Whichever one interests the child. Other than this one, you can choose to do that. If you want to do all 3, then that is awesome. Then I want you to use a pencil or highlighter to highlight, let me get my highlighter here, to highlight any features that come up in all 3 or all 2, if you've done all 2 pieces of text. So these are going to be our key features. So I know that if this is all going to be filled out, so you'll be able to see it. I know that there are photographs on all 3 pieces of text, so I can highlight that because I know that that is going to be a key feature of non-fiction writing. Okay, so you might have a few of these that you can highlight and tell your grown-up that you know that this is a key feature of non-fiction writing. If there is something, if you find something, I don't know, like questions, there's only one piece perhaps that has questions in, don't highlight it. It has to be only if all 3 of these have ticks in, okay? Because then we know it really is a key feature. That is a really important thing. It needs to be a key feature of non-fiction writing. Now I'm going to go back to me here. Hopefully you will be able to see my face again. Hopefully you can see my face. I'm really hoping so. Okay, now that is our English work for today. It's quite a long English lesson, so please take your time. Feel free to split it into little bits. If we were in school, we might split this into a couple of sort of 20-minute sessions. So please don't feel like you have to attack it for a full hour. That's absolutely fine if you don't. Have a lovely, lovely day today, and I can't wait to see more of you tomorrow for phonics and for more fun.